Welcome to IVTNN's Good Morning World. Why China has declared a war against the world and used COVID as a suspected biological weapon to keep the world on the edge of the sword, and for the last 13 months the world is under severe crisis and China doesn't have any epidemic affected result anymore. So from this, what we understood is that China might have taken the test of this virus much before it is leaked, and they have already developed the counter medicine, that is a vaccination or immunization, which is available for the Chinese to prevent or infected people cure from COVID. That is why even today no one knows how many people in China is affected, whether they are alive, whether they died, whether they need oxygen cylinder, whether they are suffering like the rest of the world. No one knows. So why Chinese are not affected? This disease, after the first stage of the impact of COVID, there is no news about it. So from this, what we understand is that China already have the medicine for this. China already have vaccination for this. China already have a cure for this, which China is not disclosing to the rest of the world. China is not disclosing how many people have died due to COVID till date. China is not affecting how many people are in the hospital till date. Whether there is someone in the hospital or every Chinese are normally working like Israelis. If they are working like the Israelis normally, then what are the remedies they have used to cure this infection? China has to answer all these things. Then why we have a reason China has used it as a biological weapon? Because this incident taken place after China was facing severe criticism, sanction, and most probably even the arrest of a CEO of a Chinese company. That time China was in a hurry of launching 5G, and 5G was a revolutionary technology. And the entire world was waiting for Chinese company to implement it in their country. That is the time Donald Trump has imposed a lot of sanctions against all Chinese companies. Many Chinese companies was facing trials, criminal conspiracy charges, and security problems. So many things. That is the time China is suspected to be released this COVID as a smoke bomb to keep the world out of Chinese focus and out of Chinese sanction, out of Chinese crisis, and out of Chinese technology spreading, and out of Chinese technology threat. So now the world forgotten China. Instead, world is fighting COVID. So who is COVID? COVID is the agent is suspected to be released in the laboratory of China. And released from the laboratory in the last moment as a weapon against the world, to tell the world China is capable of doing anything if you come as a threat to us. And China has told this world, if the investigation of America come to a conclusion that it was deliberately released by China and Chinese virology lab, then China has to pay compensation at least $1 million per person who has affected, and $5 million per person who has died, and for their families. In such a cases, the world is approaching to a third world war. China will refuse. The world will declare war. Otherwise, the world will confiscate all the Chinese assets from across the world, like it was done in West Germany after the Second World War. And after the First World War, all these times, what we come to conclusion is that the China is on one side and the rest of the world is on another side. There is going to be a war. And China like the war, so that China will have their own say in this total deal. At present, if this COVID will disappear like a smoke, then again the rest of the world will start focusing China, Chinese technology, Chinese company. Now when the world is fighting COVID, China is doing the research for the 6th generation technology of a telecommunication which is going to give China the dominance in the world. China is developing new weapons which they can face the world because the rest of the world is busy and the China is free. I mean, we don't know how many Chinese are in the hospital, and if there is no Chinese are in the hospital, then what medicine they have used, what immunity they have used, what technology they have developed to prevent the COVID. Why COVID didn't prevent killed all affected as much as people across the world, though it is originated in China. China has to answer all these things. In the meantime, Pfizer developed vaccine found less effective on the virus of COVID. So this doesn't mean that that medicine is not usable. It is predicted that it will be giving delayed response in the body, and accordingly the general public has to make up their mind. Medical practitioners who use this Pfizer vaccination should advise the people what would be the impact in their body in case the second variant will be more effective, more powerful, and Pfizer fails to that, then there is a chance that the general public will suffer in the later stage. The people who believe that I am already vaccinated and they go to the shops, they will not wear the mask, they will not take precautions, and they will be affected. Then it will create more loss of confidence and trust upon the vaccination in this world. So it has to be avoided. So both the Pfizer and medical practitioners have to take proper communication to address this issue. In the meantime, there is a hot news in Britain that a 59-year-old Boris Johnson has married his fiancée who has been living with him quite a long time, and she is a 30-year-old. And if such incident would take place in India and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will marry his fiancée or his secretary, then it would have been a lightning and thunder in Indian political platform. So people in India, and especially the opposition and the opportunist media of India, has to grow up and do not interfere in the personal affairs of anyone. And the Indian media is trying to be more sensational to sell more copies and get more TRP on the TV channel. They keep on dragging personal affairs and personal life of the people in public life and trying to create more havoc. No, they don't know that they are interfering in the personal affairs, and there are chances that such media companies have ruined many people's career. So such incident should not be taken place. Technology they have developed to prevent the COVID. Why COVID didn't prevent killed all affected as much as people across the world, though it is originated in China. China has to answer all these things. And with this, we are ending IVTNN's Good Morning World of this week. And thank you for watching IVTNN's Good Morning World. Have a nice day.